YouTube podcast full script. 3 old school lifts that build more muscle than modern exercises. Speaker, Dr. Aris Thorne, biomechanics specialist and strength coach. Tone, unapologetic. Clinical, the iron historian, deeply analytical. Setting, the lab studio. A vintage barbell rests on the floor. On the screen, a split comparison of a modern machine-based gym versus a 1950s dungeon gym. One. Hook, the viral hook database. I want you to walk into any commercial gym in America right now. You will see rows of young men bench pressing. You will see lines for the cable crossover machine. You will see an obsession with the inner chest and the lower pec. But if you ask any of them to pick a heavy object off the floor and put it over their head, the most fundamental movement pattern in human history, they crumble. Their lower backs snap. Their shoulders impinge. We have created a generation of inflated physiques. They look like bodybuilders, but they function like broken toys. What if I told you that the bench press, the so-called king of lifts, wasn't even a contested lift in the Olympics until the mid-20th century? Before that, the true test of a man was the overhead press. Today, we are resurrecting the dead. We are bringing back 3 old-school lifts that built the thick, dense, granite-like physiques of the silver era physiques that didn't just look strong. They were strong. If you are tired of looking like you lift but feeling fragile, this masterclass is your cure. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the lab. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne, and this is Strength Unleashed. Today, we are talking about a concept that has been lost in the age of machines: structural density. There is a difference between sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the puffy, water-filled look you get from high-rep pump work, and myofibrillar hypertrophy, the dense, wire cable muscle you get from moving heavy loads through gravity. Modern machines stabilize the weight for you. They rob your stabilizer muscles of their job. The result? You have massive prime movers, pecs, quads, and weak stabilizers, rotator cuffs, spinal erectors. This imbalance is the #1 cause of chronic injury. We are going to fix this by solving the massive problem of fake strength. We are going back to the basics. We are covering the standing overhead press, the Penley row, and the farmer's carry. These 3 lifts don't just build muscle. They build a yoke. They build a physique that commands respect because your body subconsciously signals to others, I can move this mountain. Hit subscribe, because we are about to turn your body into a weapon. Lift number 1. The overhead press, the lost king. Kicking off our list at number 1 is the lift that was unfairly dethroned. The overhead press, OHP closing parenthesis. 1. The historical context. Prior to 1972, the overhead press was an Olympic lift. You had the snatch, the clean and jerk, and the press. It was the gold standard. Why was it removed? Because athletes started cheating. They would lean back so far, it turned into a standing bench press. It became impossible to judge, so they cut it. The moment they cut it, shoulder injuries in athletes skyrocketed. Why? Because we stopped training the scapula to rotate upward. 2. The biomechanics of the open window. Why is OHP superior to the bench press for shoulder health? It comes down to scapulohumeral rhythm. Bench press. Your shoulder blades are pinned against the bench. They cannot move. This jams the humerus into the socket, often causing impingement. OHP. Your shoulder blades are free to rotate upward and wrap around the rib cage. This clears space in the joint capsule. It is the natural way the shoulder is designed to move. 3. The kinetic chain from the feet up. This is not a shoulder exercise. This is a total body exercise. The feet must be rooted. The glutes must be squeezed as if you are cracking a walnut. If your glutes are soft, your lower back will arch, and you will get hurt. The core. You must use the Valsalva maneuver, breathing into your stomach, to create a pressurized column of air to support your spine. 4. The technique cue. Head through the window. Most people fail because of the bar path. They press the bar away from their face to avoid hitting their nose. This increases the moment arm and puts massive strain on the front delt. The fix. As the bar clears your forehead, you must push your head torso forward through the window. The bar should end up stacked directly over your spine, hips, and heels. If I took a photo of you from the side, at the top of the rep, the bar, your shoulders, your hips, and your ankles should form a perfectly straight vertical line. Lift number 2. The pendlay row explosive power. Moving down the chain to the posterior. We have the most butchered exercise in gym history. We are replacing the standard bodybuilder row with the pendlay row. 1. The philosophy of the dead stop. Most of you are doing rows where the bar never touches the ground. You are keeping constant tension. That is fine for hypertrophy, but terrible for power. The pendlay row starts on the floor every single rep. By stopping on the floor, you eliminate the stretch shortening cycle, elastic energy. You cannot bounce the weight. You are forced to generate 100% of the force from zero. This is called rate of force development, RFD. Point 2. The anatomy of thickness. Why does this build a thicker back than a cable row? The angle. Your torso must be perfectly parallel to the floor, 90 degrees. This puts the lats and rhomboids in a position of maximum leverage against gravity. The stabilizers. Your spinal erectors have to work isometrically to keep your spine neutral. This builds those thick columns of muscle along your spine that look impressive through a shirt. 3. The execution guide. Step 1. Set up like a deadlift, but hips slightly higher. Step 2. Brace the core. Step 3. Explode. Pull the bar to your lower chest, upper abs. Step 4. Slam it back to the floor. Do not control the negative. This is an explosive concentric lift. Step 5. Reset your breath. Do it again. If you can do this slowly, the weight is too light. If you have to stand up more than 15 degrees to move it, the weight is too heavy. Lift number 3. The farmer's carry, anaconda strength. Finally, we arrive at the finisher, the lift that isn't a lift. It's a carry. The farmer's walk. 1. The law of irradiation. This is the neurological secret. Sherrington's law of irradiation states, the harder a muscle contracts, the more neural drive overflows into neighboring muscles. When you grip the dumbbells with maximum force, your rotator cuff fires to stabilize the shoulder. Your traps fire to prevent your arms from ripping off. Your core fires to prevent your spine from collapsing. A strong grip creates a strong shoulder. If you have nagging shoulder pain, start doing heavy carries. The distraction force, pulling the arm down, opens up the joint capsule. It is literally therapy. 2. The postural correction. We live in a slumped-over society, kyphosis. The farmer's carry forces you into retraction and depression of the scapula. You physically cannot walk with heavy weights if you are slumped over. The weight forces you into perfect posture. Doing this for 10 minutes a week will do more for your posture than 10 years of sitting up straight. 3. Programming the carry. Do not do this on a treadmill. Distance, 40 yards. Down and back. Weight, heavy enough that you almost drop it at the end. Duration, 10 minutes at the end of your session. This is not forearm training. This is survival training. Your body will adapt by making your entire structure denser. How do we fit these into a modern split? You don't need to rewrite your entire program. You just need to make strategic swaps. The old school protocol, push day, upper body. Tier 1, main lift. Standing overhead press, 5 sets of 5 reps. This replaces your heavy bench press for 4 weeks. Tier 2. Volume. Incline dumbbell. Bench. Tier 3. Finisher. Farmer's carry. Overhead variations optional. Pull day. Back. Tier 1. Main lift. Deadlift. Tier 2. Power. Pendlay row. 5 sets of 5 reps. Note: do these before any pull downs. Tier 3. Finisher. Heavy dumbbell. Farmer's carry. Grip failure. A note on ego: you will have to lower the weight. You cannot Pendlay row as much as you cheat row. You cannot HP as much as you bench. This will hurt your ego. Good. Let it die. We are building a foundation of concrete, not a house of cards. The reason these lifts were forgotten is not because they don't work. It's because they are hard. It is easier to sit on a machine. It is hard to clean a bar, press it, and feel the gravity of the earth trying to crush you. But that struggle is where the character is built. My challenge. For the next 30 days, make the OHP your primary push, the Pendlay your primary pull, and the carry your only cardio. If you don't look differently in the mirror, if you don't look thicker, unsubscribe. But you will question for the comments. Which of these 3 lifts do you currently neglect the most? Is it the press, the row, or the carry? Let me know below. I'm Dr. Aris Thorne. This is Strength Unleashed. Go lift something heavy over your head.